Welcome back. You tune in to Market Fatafat, where we are getting you all the stocks that are in focus today on the back of technicals or on the back of a news flow. But on the technicals now, we're joined by Osho Krishan, who's the Chief Manager and Technicals and Derivative Research, Angel One, who's now joining us. Hi, Osho. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Osho, the first stock that you picked out for us is Aurobindo Pharma. And Aurobindo is a counter that's doing very well in today's trading session. But, Aurobindo has not been, it's been consolidating for the last 6 odd months. So on the charts, what do you see from here on?
Very good afternoon. Firstly, thank you for having me at the show. Well, no doubt the counter has been into a corrective phase, but in the last 2 trading months, the counter has started gaining some strength, specifically from the oversold terrain, which implies that from here onwards, the risk-reward ratio is very much favorable from short to medium-term perspective. Even the counter have started gaining traction and has emerged above the short and even long-term moving average, which even complies well with the technical setup. So I expect that with the kind of momentum and with the kind of formation that the counter is having on the higher end, I am expecting nearly 1210 to 1220 as the first or very immediate target for Auro Pharma, while on the lower end 1120 is a very strong support levels. So any dip towards the zone of 1140 or 1120 can be seen as a buying opportunity for immediate targets of 1200 to 1210 from a very short-term point of view.
Alright, moving on then from Aurobindo Pharma to the next counter that is in focus today. In fact, it's declining almost 2% in the trading session, and that's Sula Vineyards that is in focus. On the back of the quarter 2 results, now remember the PAT has fallen almost 58% on a year-on-year basis. In fact, the stock has hit its 52-week low today. The revenue is at 131 crores, which is pretty flattish as compared to on a year-on-year basis. The EBITDA is also down 23% on a year-on-year basis at 26 crores versus 34 crores. We also see the margins that have contracted to 19.6% versus 25.3% on a year-on-year basis. On the back of weak set of results that Sula Vineyard is posting, that stock is down and out 2%.
Alright, so that's about Sula Vineyards, but let's also put the spotlight on some of the new results that are coming in. It's Bajaj Finserv which has reported its results. PAT has come in at 1,085 crore rupees. That's a 19.6% jump on a year-on-year basis. So yes, a pretty good number as far as PAT is concerned. But so yes, good set of numbers is what we are expecting from Bajaj Finserv. And like I said, PAT that has shown a growth of about 19.6% on a year-on-year basis. However, the stock is not reacting all that positively right now and is trading in the green. In fact, close to the day's lowest point. So yes, that's about Bajaj Finserv. We'll keep getting you more updates as far as Bajaj Finserv's results are concerned. But let's move on to the next stock that is buzzing in trade today other than Bajaj Finserv, and it's Uno Minda. Osho, you've picked out for us. It's trading in the red right now, and if we take a look at how it did in the past few days, that is in 5 days, it has given a good decent 6% return. But going forward, what are the kind of expectations that you have? What are charts suggesting for Uno Minda?
See, technically the counter have seen a very strong correction from the levels of 1340, 1350, and again after having a very strong consolidation around the zone of 1200 to 1220, the stock in the last session has started gaining a strong traction. So I expect that from here onwards on the higher end, there is still room for Uno Minda. On the higher end, 1350 to 1360 is the immediate target, and even if it surpasses the zone of 1360, then from there onwards 1380 to 1400 will be the target from short-term point of view. While on the lower end, with the kind of momentum the counter have seen in the last trading session, any dip or any profit booking in the short-term period should not be of any concern. Any dip towards the zone of 1290 to 1300 can be seen as a buying opportunity for immediate target of nearly 1350 followed by 1380 from a very short-term point of view.
Alright, so that's the short-term view as far as Uno Minda is concerned. But let's also put the spotlight on car trade, which is in focus today. Now, this comes as it has confirmed that it is in talks to acquire decode. The company did highlight in an exchange filing that it has been in discussions with Girmar Software regarding the potential consolidation opportunity in the new and used automotive classifieds business of decode and bike as well in India. Now remember, the company said that these discussions are limited to the automotive classified business and do not include the financing, insurance and other non-automotive parts of the business. At this stage, it says that there has been no binding or definitive agreement, but yes, talks are underway related to this transaction, which has confirmed several reports that were floating earlier in the week. Now, Cartrade says that this is part of its ordinary course of business, which continues to evaluate various strategic opportunities, including potential investment and acquisitions. So yes, that's the word coming from Cartrade, and yes, it was buzzing in trade today. However, it has given up those opening gains and is currently trading absolutely flat, just up about 0.1%.
All right, that's Cartrade on the back of that news flow. But coming to you, Osho, you picked out Osho Krishan for us. The stock is also doing very well. In fact, it has suddenly seen a spike up. It is sitting at the highest point of the day. Today, it's up 2.5%. But Osho Krishan has been an outperformer. Tell us on the charts, where do you see the stock is headed? In fact, the stock has hit its 52-week high as we speak. On the charts, do you see this positive momentum to continue from here on as well?
Overall, the counter is into a very strong momentum. There has been a formation of higher highs, higher lows, and with the kind of momentum the counter have entered in today's trading session, it has given a very strong breakout. And from here onwards, on the higher end, 154 to 156 can be seen as the next potential target for Ashok Leyland. So one can definitely look for an accumulation in the counter. On the lower end, any dip towards the zone of 140 to 142 should be seen as a buying opportunity. 154 will be the immediate target that one can expect from a short-term perspective, but from even a longer duration, one should stay invested in the counter. The counter is into a very strong momentum, and I expect the momentum should continue from a medium to long-term perspective.
All right, so Ashok Leyland, strong momentum expected to continue over the medium to long term. That's the word coming in. That was the last stock of the day. Thank you, Osho, for joining us and taking us through all the stocks that are buzzing in today's trade on the back of technicals.